So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Aboyade Oluwole, and you're welcome back to Royal Image Foundation. Happy New Year. So I wish you all a healthy, wealthy 2023 and beyond. And I hope you will sustain that command. Now, we are back into our creativity and design class. And you know, we've been focusing on creative intelligence as it relates to creation of image and content. Today, we're going to stick with that. We're going to go into another dimension of creative intelligence. And as you know, we created some content under creative production that is video. You remember? Yes. So this time around, we're going to move from video to actual product. So throughout 2023, all of the stages we will be taking in our journey of creativity and design, we're going to be creating products in one way or the other. And at the same time, creating video of how we're creating the product. So we're going to be achieving two things. Last year, we were creating video. We've learned how to create video. Now, we'll be creating content, products that we can sell to make money, that we can sell to raise funds for the foundation and for your betterment. Also, one of the things you have to understand is that when it comes to creation of products, you have to have an understanding of how to use the principles of design. The principle of design as it relates to image, the principle of design as it relates to mind. Let's make a biblical reference. In the Bible, and I quote, they say, we made man in our own what? Image. We made man in our own image. Now, that means if man was made in the image of those who made man, that means a man is what? The image of the Creator. So that means every one of you has the image of the Creator in you. You must have that consciousness. So before you learn how to design content, products, services, all of that will be involved with image. And if it's involved with image, that means the presence of the Creator is in all images. If we make beads that Yorubas call ileke in this class as a product to sell, beads is also an image. If we make a shoe, a dress, if we make a computer, they are all images. You must have that consciousness. And that is why I will be teaching you under creative production. Making of beads is also creative production. It's not only video that is production. So the principles of design as it applies to mind and image. And our practical today will be beads making. We'll be using beads making to learn the principles of design as it relates to the design of mind and image. And our practical is going to be on beads making. Beads making. Now, under the principles of design, regardless if it relates to image or mind, we are going to focus on just 4 for now. It's more than 4, but we are going to focus on 4. Yes. So you can go on YouTube and look for principles of design as it relates to image. You will see a lot of principles. There are more than 12, as a matter of fact. But we're going to focus on 4 because you guys are still in the elementary stage. And I'm sure if you can understand these 4, it will help you to understand the rest. As a matter of fact, others are embedded in this as well. So today, what we're going to do is that the first thing under the principles of design design as it relates to mind, you have to remember, before image, there's mind. Okay? And the Bible has given us that expression, that revelation, that we made man in our own image. So there was a mind before the making of man. If there's no mind, there will be no thought to make man. Common sense, okay? Now, when it comes to mind, you have to design your mind to have the being, the consciousness to create. Most of you, your subconscious mind is controlling your conscious state of mind or conscious state of being. That is why sometimes you will behave in a way and later you'll be like, oh, why did I behave like that? That's because your subconscious mind is controlling your conscious mind. What you need to do is that you need to have a bridge of consciousness that will control, that will give you awareness at every point in time as to when your subconscious mind is activated and when your conscious mind is not activated. And you'll see how that works in this class when we're making our beats in the practical class. Now, the first thing under the principles of design as it relates to mind and image is space and time. There's nothing we do. You must understand that space is very, very important in the creation of image. Without space, there's no image. Because space is the container of all images. Write it down. Space is the container of all images. The space could be your body, the space could be a book, a computer, the space could be a room, a house, the space could be a car, a flight, the space could even be your eyeballs. Your eyeball is a space. Your being, your whole body is a space. Where your body is residing, is working on, that you call the earth, the ground, is a space. So everything that is called image exists in space and time. And the reason why we have time is because of distance. So you have to understand that regardless of you designing an image, your mind must be designed to understand that space is the container of all images. Yes. So now, what we are going to do is we'll talk about the next one that is called contrast. Contrast, when it comes to design of image, means that you have to make sure that you have clarity and clarity. That means, for example, on this table I have beads, and you can see this particular beads, the color is different from these beads. That means that difference, the difference between this product and this product in color is contrast. That is as it relates to image. So the difference between this color pink and this color blue is what? Is contrast. The difference between two colors is contrast. And you have to remember that before you can have the difference between two colors, there must be space. Okay? Yes. That is why if you use Photoshop, you will see that sometimes you have a green color. When you start to move one of your control to change the color, you have to move it from one point to the other before you can change the color from either blue to green or from green to purple. It's moving in space. And that is why space came first in our principles of design with time. The second thing is contrast. Now, contrast as it relates to image is what I've explained to you with this bead. The difference between black and white. Black is a color, right? White is a color, right? But you can make white to become dark. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can make white to become dark. But ability for you to now say this is black and this is white, is having a mind to let you understand that your vision is recognizing black as black and white as white. You are making a contrast between what is black and what is white. And when we are making our beads, you see how we are going to use contrast to make our beads. We will be making contrast as to blue beads, white beads, pink beads, or brown beads. Now, that is as it relates to image. But as it relates to mind, under the principles of design, contrast is when you want to say, I want Emmanuel and what's your name? I want Emmanuel and Bolu to be in my team of those that I will make beats with. You've selected some people that you like, that you can work with. Your mind is telling you, I can work with Bolu and Emmanuel. I don't want to work with Michael. Once you say, I don't want to work with Michael, I want to work with only Emmanuel and Bolu, you've made a contrast between Michael and Bolu. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is contrast as it relates to mind. Don't be confused. Listen, sometimes you will have to choose your friend, even in school. I mean, there are some people you like and some people you don't like. Once you have a mind, where does ability to determine who you like and who you don't like come from? From your mind. Thank you very much. So that means you are using contrast to determine that I like Michael, I don't like Bolu. Once you use contrast to say I like Michael, I don't like Bolu, your mind is designing with contrast. Likeness for Michael and not Bolu. Now, while your mind is doing that, another mind somewhere else will be saying, no, it is Bolu I like, I don't like Michael. What is that? What is making the person do that? It's their mind. And that mind, if you understand the principle of design, mind, and image with space, contrast, you will be able to make a better decision in your design of product and services. But at least from what I've given you now, I've given you a practical example of what you know in your school, how you choose your friends and those who are not your friends. The same thing with image. When we are creating beads here, you will see how we will be able to say, we want to use black, we don't want to use white. Once you say we want to use black, we don't want to use white, you are making contrast. Once you say, I want Bolu, I don't want Michael, you are using contrast. Do you understand me? Yes. So that's the point there. Did you understand that? Yes, good. So now the next one is emphasis. In design of mind and image, you have to emphasize. That means there must be a focus. In your focus, listen up, in your focus, you'll be able to say today, as it relates to mind, emphasis as it relates to mind. You have to say today, my focus, my emphasis. Emphasis means what you've planned. Today, our emphasis is to make beats. Our focus in our creative production class, using creative intelligence under creativity and design, is to make beats. We are emphasizing on that. We are not making film today. The film we are going to make is how to make beats, and we are going to make beats making the video. You understand? That is our emphasis. That is our focus. So you can say, when it comes to emphasis, it's about focus. Write it down. Emphasis is about focus. And focus is how to achieve the vision and the mission. The vision and the mission. Achieving the vision and the mission. That means your goal. Today's goal is to make beats in our practical class. It's our first day of bead making under creative production. So as we're making the beads today, next class we will make another set of beads and we'll continue making other products little by little. And the reason why we're also doing that is because of originality. Because we don't want people to say what we are learning, what we are teaching, what we are doing is their own, because there are people like that. It's called intellectual property theft. And that's why you see we are using principles of design, mind and image. Yes, we are using beads. Nobody is using beads to teach principle of design on the internet. There's no video like that. This will be the first video. Yes. And the reason why I'm emphasizing, can you see now? I'm emphasizing that if you go on the whole of YouTube, the whole of the internet, you shall never find a mind that will use principle of design to make beats as a class that teaches creative production. This is the first. And the reason why you have to emphasize that we're the only one using beads to teach principle of design as it relates to mind and image is because of originality. In today's world, we must retain originality. Originality is your talent. Originality is what? Your talent. And originality carries what? Three things. Write it down. Originality carries identity. Write it down. Yes. Originality carries identity, carries language, and spirituality. Originality carries identity, language, and spirituality. Once your language, your identity, and your spirituality is expressed in a way that we cannot find it on the internet, you have achieved originality. And once you achieve originality, you have creative intelligence. Because creative intelligence is all about originality. And that is why this class, you are the first set of human beings. Listen to me. Emmanuel, Michael, and Bolu, you are the first set of children in the entire creation that is learning principles of design, mind, and image with the use of beads, which is called ileke in Yoruba, to learn the principles of design as it relates to space and time, contrast, emphasis, and repetition. Everything I've said now, I've emphasized it. So that intelligence will now look at it. When they go on YouTube, when they go on the internet, and they can't find any other person with this video, they will say it is true. And once it is true, it will remain true for eternity. It has remained true. Now, after emphasis, you have repetition. Repetition is a marketing tool. Write it down. Repetition is a marketing tool. You have to remember, when we are making beats, as repetition under the principles of design as it relates to image, repetition is ability to repeat a particular color of beads to achieve beauty. Repetition, when you repeat something, like you repeat class, it's because you don't understand the class. You fail the class. For you to pass the class, you have to do what? Repeat the class. So, repetition as it relates to mind is when you repeat a class. Your teacher said, no, you are not going to SS1. You must stay in JSS 3 because you have failed. Your mind is not yet designed to move forward. You will have to repeat. That is repetition as it relates to what? Mind. But repetition as it relates to image your creativity and design journey. Also, you can use beats you can use repetition when you are creating a product like beads to create beauty. And we are going to do that in our practical class. Okay? So, I want you to understand that what we've learned today, before we go into the next section, which is practical, is that we've used space and time. You see the space we have here. We don't have a lot of people. If we have a lot of people here, we will not have the understanding of what we're learning. That is part of space intelligence. We also have time. The time that we have, did you see anybody coming to disturb us here? Taking away from our time? No. So you need these two before you start creating. Now, we have it. It's under principles of design. The next one is contrast. We've been able to select what we're going to use, the tools to use to create our beads. Abi, we have the rope, we have the beads, we even have how to package the beads. I even have a scissors in case we want to cut our rope to be able to do the design of the beads. All of the selection of these tools, we've made contrast between all of the tools in the world. We've said this is the only thing we need. We've been able to, there's a lot of things you can bring to this class to teach beads. But we've made contrast between what is needed under emphasis and what is not needed. Do you understand what I'm saying? If some people might come to this class and come with one bag of beads that is like very big like this. But if you come with other beads, it will be too much for people to learn. So I've used my mind, I've designed my mind to make contrast. Say if I'm teaching the children, I need to use beads that is cheap to buy, that is accessible for them, to use it to teach them the principles of design as relates to mind and image. Did you see me bringing textbooks to come and teach you theory here? No. I'm using something you can see, you have access to, that you can understand to teach you. That is what we call originality. That is the problem with our education system today. They are just writing book and they are not teaching you anything. They are not creating. They are destroying with their theory. And I'm emphasizing that here because this video will go on the internet, especially Facebook, the planet of mind. So now we're done with the class. Do you have any question?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
This is not explain to us about this personality and language and spirituality.
Okay, see that good one. So Michael said that I should explain. When I said originality involves or includes identity, language, and spirituality. He said I should expatiate on that. That's good. Now, the fact that you are asking this kind of question shows that your mind is designing. Can you see? His mind. What is asking the question? His mind. So that means the principle of design mind and image is working. Michael is an image. His mind has now said, I don't understand identity, language, and spirituality as it relates to what? Originality. His mind is looking for that answer. And here's the answer. When we say identity, Michael, when you stood up and you came to ask this question, did I call you Emmanuel? Yes. Because Emmanuel is not what? Your name. So your name, Michael, is what? Your identity. And the name Michael in this class is what? Is only original to what? To you. You are the only Michael in this video, in this class. So, can I refer to myself as Michael? No. Your identity in for eternity now because we're the only ones here. There will be no Michael in this video again. You will be the only Michael here. I'm the only Wole here. My English name is Christopher. My last name is Aboyade. I will be the only one here. It will be the only Emmanuel here. And Bolu will be the only Bolu here. Can we say another Bolu is here? That is originality as it relates to what? Identity. That is why, if you remember last year, I was teaching you, before you do anything, you must name it. To give it what? Identity.
Why, as you said that identity, say that this man, you cannot call him, let me say, you cannot call him bully.
Yes.
You call him his name. And that originality means when you express when that person is own, his real self, you call him that yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Like you must call him that yourself.
Exactly. You cannot call him another person. Yes, you are correct. Now, when it comes to language, you have to remember. Now you are disturbing us. So, when it comes to language, language is ability to express yourself for people to understand. Language is ability to express yourself for people to understand. And let me just tell you now, remember, as we're teaching principle of design as it relates to mind and image, we're using original language that is not borrowed from somebody else, because we're using beats to teach what? Principle of design. When I say beats, people don't associate beats with principle of design. There's no textbook like that in the whole world. That is originality. You are the first 3 students in the whole world that will learn, that will hear the language beats or ileke as it relates to principle of design, mind, and image. That is originality. So let's come down to your level. If in your class, when you go to school, your teacher say, come and talk about a particular thing. When you get there, the way you tell the story, if there's originality there, it will make your teacher to give you more mark. They will not say you are intelligent. Do you know that? Do you know that? Yes. That is why if you watch some movie, you will say, I love that movie. What is making you to love the movie? Is the language in the movie, the story in the movie, the identity in the movie, and the spirituality. Because there's not even music. When you hear some music, you will cry. When you watch some movie, you will cry. When you watch some movie, you will be happy. Sometimes when you watch a particular actor or actress in a movie that you like, your mind has chosen that person using contrast to like that actor. When the actor dies in the movie, you will start to cry. Has it happened to you? Yes. And you think it's real, but it's not real. But your mind is making you. Yes. Yes. So those people that created that movie, for it to affect your mind, for you to shed tears, is because they've used what? Creative intelligence, and they've used originality to create identity, language, and spirituality to design your mind to react to the movie like that.
I was used to watch movie.
Yeah.
Anything they do there that is not like things I would think that is real. But when I asked my father one day that whether all these things I'm watching, whether they are real, that's that is not real.
Yes. You see what he said now? He said when he was young, he would watch a lot of movie and he thinks it is real. So that means because the real, why is it real? It's because it looks original. It looks believable. It looks credible. Once you have something that looks believable, credible, you have originality. And that originality will carry identity. Some of the movies you've watched, you still remember their name, even though you've watched them a long time ago. Abi? Yes. is affecting your behavior, that's spirituality. If a movie or a book is making you cry, if the music is making you dance, that's spirituality. Because it's affecting your intelligence, your behavior, your character, and your consciousness. So, what we've achieved today is that for the first time in the whole of creation, we've used beings, that which is accessible to you, that which is connected to all languages, that which is the foundation of our space, because beings is from the earth. Remember, beings is from the earth. So we've used it to teach principles of design, mind, and image. Nobody has done that in the world. That is originality. So when you go to school, when they teach you anything, it is you that will now use this idea of principle of design to say, how can I look at what my teacher is teaching me in a way I can tell the story different to my classmates? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yes. 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 That's why sometimes, if your mathematics teacher teach you, for example, if your originality now, example of originality in your class, using principle of design, we want to design how to teach 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Right? So if your classmates now say they don't understand 1 plus 1 equals to 2, how can we use originality to teach 1 plus 1 equals to 2 that your classmates will understand?
When you add 1 to 1, make it 2.
Okay, that's one. Using creative intelligence. So, how do you use creative intelligence to teach 1 plus 1 equals to 2? Using originality. Oh, yeah, teach. Go ahead.
Tell them you add the 1 together and it equals to the next is like 2.
Okay. Do you want to try? Okay. Now, I'm going to show you a way. You are right, but you need to bring, you see, when you want to teach your originality, take it to the level that they can see. Don't just say it. Don't use words to be saying it. Take it to what they can see with their eyes. And I'm going to use beads. We're going to use beads again to teach originality, to teach mathematics. We're going to use ileke, beads. Here's my own. Watch out. I take one bead, I take another bead, and I now say, oh yeah, look, Michael, this is 1. This is 1. To make it 2, you put it together like this. What is here? 0. What is here? 2. What have I used? I've used beads to teach mathematics. Is this original?
Yes.
Is original? Yes. Using beads to teach mathematics is original? Yes. Will you forget this one? Exactly. That is what we're saying. So that is how to build originality. And you need to do it in today's world, because we have a lot of people that even when you do this video now, some people somewhere will be trying to use it to make money. And you that you've created it, they will consider you a fool. That is what some, even governments are doing that. And that is why we're using this class to teach you that you have that challenge in front, so that your originality will always make you stand ahead in command, in creativity, in spirituality, and in intelligence. And that's why I told you that the values of creative intelligence, the values of creativity and design, the value of creative production is creativity itself, spirituality, and intelligence. So, regardless of what is trying to distract your mind, your image, your vision, your wisdom, once you have ability to use creativity and design, once your mind is creating, you are creating yourself. And as you are creating yourself, they cannot overcome you. Because what you create is you. That is your consciousness. That is the secret of creativity. Creativity is before spirituality. In the hierarchy of things, it was creativity first, before spirituality, before intelligence. Because that is why you see here, I'm saying principle of design, Yes, using understanding space, contrast, emphasis, and repetition. There are some school of thought that will teach principle of design as it relates to image, not mind. You can find that one on YouTube. You will see design, principle of design as it relates to image on YouTube or internet. But you will not see principle of design as it relates to mind and image at the same time, being and consciousness using beats. Using beats, ileke, to teach space and time, contrast, emphasis, and repetition. That is why this class is original and it carries identity, language, and spirituality. I'm Aboyade Oluwole, and until next time, stay well and stay blessed. We're going to move into our practical section. So for those of you in space, I hope you've learned something, at least one thing from this class, and that's that creativity, creative intelligence, design should be focused on originality to carry your identity, language, and your spirituality. Stay well and stay blessed. A healthy, wealthy 2023 and beyond. From Royal Image Foundation, we all say, look at the camera and say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. So the practical class will start